Hey y'all, happy Thursday, people. Welcome into the building. I'm glad to see y'all for Thursday night trending topics. Thanks for all the support as you come in the building. Hit the like button because we got stuff to talk about. Yes, we do. Tonight's trending topics is called Big Wins and Epic Fails. Big wins and epic fails. Listen. How do I approach this? Let me say it this way. Everybody in the streets, and I'm not saying rightfully so or wrongfully so, but they saying Diddy's a monster. Leave him behind bars. Lock him up. What he did to people was deplorable and despicable. But meantime, Lizzo had young ladies accused her of some acts, minus the substances, but they accused her of forcing them to participate, do things, this, that, and the other. Everybody called them liars. They lying. They want money. Lizzo would never. It's interesting how we decide who we going to believe, not believe, who we support as a victim, not support as a victim, and who we get mad at when it comes to victim shaming. And that word is a blanket thing that's always used, this victim shaming thing. But Lizzo accusers were pretty much called liars. Well, Lizzo got a big win in the court today. Why? Because the accusers, their lawsuit can continue, but they cannot sue her directly, but they can sue her company. Ain't that interesting? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We like to intervene. When I say we, I mean the public. We like to intervene when something is all the way left and it's all the way to the extreme, and then the whole media is outraged. Then we get outraged. Before then, we act like nothing is happening and all is well. Another problematic situation that's happening right before our eyes is the Kanye West and Bianca Censori. But I guess because they married, we'll turn a blind eye. But I'll continue because I got to get back to tonight's trending topics, and it's big wins, epic fails, and Lizzo's accusers. They had a loss, so to speak, and Lizzo got a win, so to speak. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. And then because of Lamisha, let's move on to the next story we're going to talk about. Because of that, Lamisha Fuller out there in these streets, these YouTube streets, talking about she was Jane Doe, the Jane Doe that one of Diddy's accusers, who said at 17, Diddy and some of his associates did the unthinkable to her. And she filed her lawsuit as a Jane Doe. Well, the judge made a ruling. and said once again, because the judge had told her before, but the judge said once again, you could continue with your lawsuit, because Diddy's team responded to the lawsuit and said, how is this girl even being allowed to sue when the statute of limitations ran out? Well, the judge made a ruling today and said, you know what? We're going to allow her to continue to sue, but she cannot sue his companies. So you got the Lizzo lawsuit where judge said you can't sue Lizzo, but you can sue the companies. Ain't that interesting? But now we got the Diddy case where the judge said you can't sue Daddy's house, you can't sue the company, but you can sue Diddy. But if you're going to sue Diddy, you got to say your name. So in order for Jane Doe, the 17-year-old, to continue a case, she got to say her name. And you know what? Part of it, I'm not saying this is a fact. Part of it is because it probably got darn Lamisha Fuller, who's in these streets, these YouTube streets, playing games, saying that she was the 17-year-old. But Doug Wakedoor came out and said that ain't my client. She's not the 17-year-old. And 17-year-old at the time of the situation. She's not the one that I'm representing. She's not Jane Doe. So that Lamisha Fuller was in the streets making all types of claims. She's saying she was Chan's mother. She had to eat kids. She said Diddy from a burning building. She was the one in the picture. She don't know why they spreading her pictures around everywhere. She need a lawyer. She need help. The people was ready to give her all types of what was they trying to give her? They was trying to give her a GoFundMe, cash apping her. They was cash apping the whole fraud. But then they get mad at people like me who try to tell them ahead of time that something in the water ain't clean. Something don't sound right. Oh, Diva, you victim shaming. Well, y'all done send all your good money, your cash app, want to start a GoFundMe for a whole fraud. Well, if that's how you want to spend your money, that's okay. Go ahead, spend your money that way. But it muddies the waters for the true victims. And now the real Jane Doe has to say her name. She has to say her name. If she wants to continue with her case, she has to say her name. We got stuff to talk about tonight. It's Thursday night, and it's big wins and epic fails. Now let's move on to Master P's son. I'm not one to count nobody's money, be trying to peek in their bank account. But you, Master P's son, don't Master P and Snoop Dogg have some type of cereal? Don't they got some type of cereal because they was fighting Walmart for not putting it in the forefront of the shelves or something like that? Don't Master P have money? Don't he own teams? Somebody help me out in the chat. Don't Master P have money? If Diva, who never rapped, worked a regular job, can get the items that my son needs for his dorm room, shouldn't Master P be able to do the same? So Master P's son, along with two of his fellow basketball teammates out there at the college, all in their 20s, they decide that it was a good idea to steal some refrigerators off of the campus property. I had to clean off my glasses and read the story one more again. I said, hold up now. You're on the basketball team at the college, and you're stealing refrigerators. Not one, not two, but three. Y'all get arrested the day before Thanksgiving. And then they release y'all on Thanksgiving. And then y'all want to say it was a misunderstanding. There's refrigerators that don't belong to you. You see them sitting there and you claim you saw them sitting there a whole month. So why would you not go to the administrators or the people at the school and say, hey, I seen no refrigerators out there for a whole 30 days now. Can I get one and take it back to my room? And why did you take 3? Because it was 3. This is a whole hot, nasty, filthy mess. And it was no misunderstanding, but we're going to talk about it. I don't feel it was a misunderstanding. I feel that you was thieving, you was stealing. And in your 20s, and your father's Master P, and you representing the basketball team at your college, and you getting arrested for stealing a refrigerator, you got to make this make sense, people. I'm sure if you would have asked the coach, because you know these coaches, they love their basketball players. They love their sports people. If you would have asked the coach for a refrigerator, I'm willing to put money on the table and say that coach would have made sure you got a refrigerator in that room. If your father didn't. You stealing refrigerators? I can't do this right now. Big wins and epic fails. And I think his name is Hersey Miller. Hersey Miller. Well, Hersey gets an epic fail, and so does Master P. Because when you're worth, according to Katrina, $200 million, and your kid is still in a refrigerator, that's an epic fail. But we're going to talk about it. You know what I need in the chat, right? I need a what? Excuse me. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. It's big wins and epic fails. Lizzo accuser. She can no longer sue Lizzo, but she can sue Lizzo's company. We got Diddy, Jane Doe. She must say her name now. If she wants to continue with her lawsuit, she has to say her name. Thank you to the Lamisha Fillers out there. Thank you to the Courtney Burgess. Thank you to the Thalia Graves. And matter of fact, can somebody do a missing persons report? Where is Gloria Allred? Thalia is her client. Where is she? I need to put out another missing report out there. Where is Tony Busby? Tony promised us he was going to let us see the letters that he sent out telling some of these accusers to either pay up or we're going to sue you. Tony Busby told us every Sunday for how many Sundays he was going to be coming out with these Diddy lawsuits. Where is he? Tony told us that one of his clients was as young as 9 years old at the time they got violated by Diddy. Where's the 9-year-old? This is a joke to some people. But see, what you got to understand is once you messing with the law, you can run around and be a joke if you want to. But once you messing with the law, it's no longer a joke. It's not a joke. I be playing them games. You're talking about people's lives. You're talking about real potential victims. And you got people out here doing the most, doing the foolery. And they're playing games. Thalia sat up there and did a whole press conference with Gloria Allred crying, carrying on. And less than 48 hours later, we found out she was a whole fraud. They playing. Listen, The law can go either way. I don't know what those people did or didn't do in that YSL case, but I know they all got a magic trick. They in the streets. All of them is in the streets now. We gonna talk, people. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I'm about to bring the people in the building. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna bring the people in the building. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo choo. All aboard, everybody. It's Thursday night trending topics, and here we go. I'm about to bring the people in the building because we got stuff to talk about. Hey, Julius. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Wayne.
Hit the like button. I'm going to be in the chat watching. Be on the best behavior.
Hey,
Hey,
yo.
panel. Hey, chat. Hey, everybody. Choo, choo, choo.
Choo choo choo. Let's get into this, okay? We're gonna go ahead and talk. I hope I didn't click out of my stories here. Okay, I got them. So let's get into this. Let's first talk about you know what? Where I want to go. Let's go to this Lizzo case. Let's do Lizzo first. Let's do Lizzo's ladies first, okay? Let's do Lizzo because we got the ladies and we got two men. Now let's do Lizzo. So Lizzo claims dismissed in harassment lawsuit, but touring company still is fighting the case. So Lizzo had a big win today, okay? So she's out here looking trim and slim, okay, snatched, okay? And she got a big win. So Lizzo scored a big legal win in the harassment case filed against her, at least for her as an individual, but her touring company is still facing serious claims. Here's the deal. On Monday, a judge dismissed the claims made by former backup dancer, what's this, Aisha Daniels, against Lizzo as an individual, ruling that such claims can only be made against Daniels' corporate employer, not Lizzo as an individual. Basically, the judge found Lizzo can't be held personally liable for the harassment alleged in the lawsuit. And really, guys, let's follow this. Because Lizzo was her employer, they're saying you can't sue Lizzo, but you can sue the company. However, this only applies to Lizzo personally, and her company, Big Girl, Big Touring, will still have to deal with the lawsuit. Some good news for Lizzo personal accounts, but BGBT Inc. ain't off the hook. Remember in September of last year, and I'm going to say Aisha filed a lawsuit claiming she was forced to work 20-hour days at times while working as a makeup artist on Lizzo's tour. She says she was eventually fired before her contract ended. Daniel also claims she was forced to hear racist and fat-phobic comments while working on the tour. Lizzo has denied all the claims in the lawsuit against her. We reached out to Lizzo about the dismissal. So far, no word back yet. So Lizzo has some other suits too. We're going to have to see how those pan out. But for right now, the makeup artist, she can't sue Lizzo personally, but she can sue the company, meaning her employer, which is Big Girl Touring Entertainment. All right. So, Julius, what are your thoughts?
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. If she has the evidence and the receipts, her case does need to move forward. Just my thoughts, just my opinions. I want to say that, just my thoughts and my opinions. I don't know the facts. So, I do believe she should pursue with her suit and go forward from there.
I appreciate you. Katrina, your thoughts?
She said that Lizzo is suing her because she was calling her out her name, Fat, right? But isn't the touring company name Big Fat Touring People? What's the name of that company they're touring with?
Big
What's the name of
Girl.
that?
It's called Big Girl.
Big Girls. So if she's a big girl, Lizzo a big girl too. How can Lizzo talking about somebody weight when she a big girl as well? So I don't know if she was. I don't know. It's crazy, but like Jewel said, if you got the receipts to show that you was harassed on your job, which is not, if you're working for that company, you have to sue the company and not Lizzo. Even though Lizzo was doing all this stuff, but she still had a company that you was working with. So yeah, I think it does fall on the company. I might be wrong. Felicia can look that up, as she always do. But I'm thinking that she could sue the company and not Lizzo because you were employed by the company. I don't know if she was employed by Lizzo, but you was traveling with that company. So yeah, I can see her suing the company and not Lizzo. But either way, I hope she gets her money if she's legit and not frivolous like all the ones we know and now that's out there making lawsuits. And we'll just go from there. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. In my mind, I get what the judge is saying, that, she has to sue the company, but I'm not understanding why and just not even just Lizzo case, just in general, why you wouldn't be allowed to sue the actual person who you're claiming inflicted this harm on you. But I think maybe in her case, because she's talking about she had to work these extra hours, she worked 20-hour days, and maybe that has more to do with it than anything. Felicia, your thoughts?
Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. I recall part of this lawsuit was also that they were told they had to go to certain places, nightlife, and what do they call that? The
The
red
red
district.
district.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had to go down to the red district, and then, much to their surprise, they were told they had to engage with these performers.
Mm-hmm.
And many of them were made to feel quite uncomfortable about that. And when they voiced how they were feeling, they were no longer in the inner circle per se. Their traveling situation changed up. How long they was going to be on the tour was, was changed. They were accused of now having been overweight. Is my memory right?
You are remembering correctly. So
Yeah.
there's several people. They're only mentioned as makeup artists in this one, but there was other girls that was suing also. And as you stated, everything you stated, that was their issues. Yes.
Right. So they had this whole turnaround when they didn't participate happily in this red light district and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense to me that they said, okay, you got to sue the company and perhaps not Lizzo. However, I think the person can have a bigger judgment going after the company.
Okay.
And as you pointed out earlier, there would be insurance money involved, and it's an easier way to pay out. So yes, I do recall the working extra hours. And in fact, they even had to pay out of pocket for certain things that had been promised would be covered on this tour. So again, when we talk about monetary things and people not being compensated, I say, amen, keep the fight going, get your money, get what you're worth. And if, I commend her, she seems to be the only one still standing because there was about 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. So she seems to be the only one still standing. So maybe the others took a settlement or an apology or it's no big deal. And she says, no, I need my money. So I wish her the best. I do.
Yeah.
I'm done. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Wayne, your thoughts?
I don't see it as a big win for Lizzo. I mean, she owns the company and, she got a lawsuit. The lady got a lawsuit either way. So I don't see such this great win for her. Money is money, unless one will produce more money. But I don't see it as a big win for her. It's still going forward. It's just suing her company.
Well, I think the win is that, like Felicia was saying, and Sachs K is saying it too. The win is, so to speak, that it won't come out of her personal bank account. The insurance will probably have to pay when this lawsuit, if the girl comes out victorious. And then the other thing too, it won't per se have written in court documents that somebody won a case against Lizzo, it's going to be written down as big girl touring whatever was sued for XYZ. So, you know, if you care about your name, so to speak, that's where it's a win for her. It won't personally hit her personal bank account. Where, you know, with the Diddy cases, they're naming Diddy and all of his entities, Daddy's House, Bad Boy Entertainment, yada, 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 who. So these people have the potential to get money from all of these avenues, right? Where with Lizzo now, if they do get a win, it won't hit her pockets. It will hit her company pockets. And let's just say the company is bankrupt. I don't know. I'm just saying this, right? Then what does the person get? They're not going to get nothing. Even if the judgment say 30 million. If 30 million is not there, how do you get it? So it's like an indirect win for her in terms of it's not going to be on her name, so to speak. I think that's what it is. But you are correct. Either way, the lawsuit moves forward. So, you know, it's crazy. So let's go ahead and move into and wait, and some say, and if Liz money isn't a trust, you can't go after her. Whew, child, it's a lot. Thank you, Sasuke. Okay. And thank you for all my mods being out there, Katrina, Julius, and Sasuke. I appreciate y'all. So let's move forward into the next story. So Diddy's Jane Doe, and this is the 17-year-old. If you recall that case, she said she was 17 at the time. She met, you know, Diddy's associate in a club, in a lounge. They flew her to New York where Diddy was. She was in Daddy's studio. And it happened to her when she was 17. She's no longer 17. She's older now. And so initially Diddy's and his lawyers was trying to get the whole thing thrown out because they said she exceeded the statute of limitations. Yeah, the one with the D&G t-shirt on. Yes. That it exceeded the statute of limitations, but the lawyer is allowing her case to move forward. But she said that the girl must restate her name. So let's get into this story. So Sean Combs' teen accuser must reveal her name, the judge rules. The decision could cause a ripple effect in how other judges will handle the 20-plus other anonymous SA cases against Sean Combs. A woman who claimed that she was flown as a 17-year-old on a private plane to meet Sean Diddy Combs and was GR'd at his recording studio in 2003 must use her real name in her lawsuit against the mogul, a judge has ruled. The Jane Doe sued Combs' former Bad Boy CEO Harvey Pierre and a third unknown associate for SA in December of 2023. I wonder if eventually also she will actually have to name this unknown associate's name. Time will tell. 1 month after Cassandra Cassie Ventura filed her own bombshell NST lawsuit against Combs. Combs denied Ventura's claims and a settlement was reached the next day. But beyond the initial filing, which included photos of the Detroit area high schooler sitting on Combs' lap, the case was largely been at a standstill while the woman waited to see if her case could continue after Combs' team challenged the New York City specific statute that she was filing under. Combs' attorneys argued that Doe's case should be tossed because the Victims of Gender Motivated Violence Protection Law, VGM-VPL, was preempted by the expiration of other statewide look-back laws, specifically the Child Victims Act that expired in August 2021. In her opinion, published on Thursday, U.S. District Judge Jessica G.L. Clark ruled that the case could continue under the VGMVPL statute and directed Doe to comply with a previous order to unveil her name. And in a second slight win for Combs' team, Judge Clark also ruled that corporate defendants Daddy's House, the name of Combs' Manhattan recording studio, and Bad Boy could be dismissed from the case. So it's interesting how in this Diddy case, his companies are being dismissed, where in Lizzo's case, that's the only thing that remained. It's just interesting. While Doe will have to come forward publicly if she wishes to continue with the lawsuit, it's still largely a favorable outcome. It also bodies well for other survivors who allege assault took place after 2000 and have sued under the same provision. So that opened the floodgates. It's kind of like an epic fail for Diddy's side, right? Because it opened the floodgates for all of these other people that have filed and they have passed the statute of limitations. Now their lawyer can say, listen, you let this Jane Doe case go through and they passed the statute of limitations, so why not my client? Still, the decision could cause a ripple effect in how other judges will handle the 20 other anonymous cases against Combs. Last month, Judge Mary Kay ordered accuser Candace McCurry to use her name after McCurry sued Combs for allegedly forcing himself on her after meeting him at a photo shoot in 2004. Other cases are still in limbo as different judges weigh their own decisions if the accuser can proceed anonymously. Rep for Combs and Doe's attorney, Douglas Wigdor and Meredith Firetog, did not immediately reply to the request for a comment. Doe filed her graphic lawsuit in December 2023, alleging that she was a high school junior when Pierre approached her at a Detroit area lounge, boasting of his friendship with Combs and claiming the Music Gazette would love to meet her. That same night, Doe claimed she flew on a private jet with Pierre and an unknown man to a Teterboro, New Jersey, before arriving at Daddy's House recording studio in Manhattan. Upon arriving in the studio, the woman alleges the man began giving her copious amount of substances and alcohol. She included photos of the fateful night in her filing, where she is seen pointing at a PD sign, pretending to sang in a recording booth, and sitting on Combs' lap as he flashed two-piece sign. But things allegedly took a turn when she began to slip in and out of consciousness due to the substances and alcohol in her system. Doe claimed the three men allegedly took turns R-ing her in the bathroom while she pleaded for them to stop. Eventually, she alleges that she blacked out, later waking up on the floor in the fetal position and experiencing pain in her private area. Once she regained her bearings, she was taken back to an airport and flown to Detroit. Her undergarments was missing, the lawsuit claimed. As a result of being armed by Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and a third assailant, Ms. Doe suffered significant emotional distress and feels of shame that have plagued her life and personal relationships for 20 years, the lawsuit added. Seeing two other women bravely speak out against Mr. Combs and Mr. Pierre, respectively, gave Ms. Doe the confidence to tell her story as well. Combs vehemently denied Doe's allegations in a statement issued shortly after her lawsuit was filed. Enough is enough, he said in a statement. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. The 55-year-old is currently being held without bail after his arrest in September on federal criminal charges of ST, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in P, pleading not guilty to the charges. He faces up to life in prison if convicted. So the story here is Jane Doe is going to have to say her name if she wants this case to move forward. Julius, your thoughts?
Reveal yourselves, because I'm tired. I'm tired. Can everybody hear me? Okay, I'm pretty sure. But I am
Yes, we can
tired.
hear you.
I am tired. Like the old folks used to say, y'all doing all so much talking. Reveal yourselves. Because I'm tired of being sick and tired. Reveal yourselves. Because I have no patience left. If he did something to you, put it in the court of law. Log it. Instead of talking about it public, put it in through where it matters. Because I'm tired.
Katrina, your thoughts?
My thoughts are, um, I think he want this person to come out. If this is the person that we think it is, either one or the other. I think he want her to say her name because if we're talking about this person, if this is this person, she had a lawsuit out against another person for revenge P, and it was thrown out because it found out that she was still messing with this person. So I don't know if that's the reason why. If it is this person that we think it is, or the other one, I think that's the reason why he want that name to come out. He want people to know who it is. So that's what I'm banking on. If it's this person, but we don't know if it's this person. But that's what I'm thinking. I think he want this person to come out so she can be uh, denounced as a liar, or denounced saying that he didn't do this and she had a claim like this before. She lied on this person and all that type of stuff. I think he wants her to come out so he can defame or try to knock out this lawsuit. That's what I'm thinking, but I might be wrong. But if it's this person that I think it is, that's why he want her to say her name. But we'll see. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, if most of you may have been following my thoughts on this. I'm looking forward to all the names being revealed. I think this third unknown defendant is the key to why she is been Jane Doe and why Mr. Combs has gotten into so much of the trouble that he is in. This case, in my opinion, should have been settled a year ago when she filed the complaint. And as you read out loud to us, Diva, Mr. Combs came out with a very forceful statement about his being persecuted. And look what a year has brought. Every day you've been in the news and they have been calling you out for all kinds of horrendous, horrific things. So he probably would have been better serving himself if he had just remained quiet and followed the lead of his attorneys. I'm hoping and praying that this particular Jane Doe has been shoring up and getting strong and getting prepared for the battle that lies ahead. I do believe her story. I believed it the first time I heard it, and I still believe it today. And I think she's one of the victims that many of us have empathy for and have sympathy for. That fraud, Lamisha, I do blame her partly for this, and the other frauds who have been on these streets, co-opting other people's identities, taking parts of stories and mishmashing them up, and really just building lie upon lie, egregious act after egregious act. And you have this woman who, when you just read again in the article, for 20 years, she has still suffered. She still suffers from what happened to her. And if many of you can remember in that lawsuit, she said the next thing after all of that happened, she was back in her car and she could not recall how she even got to her car.
Yeah.
That's how messed up and damaged and harmed she was. So I really do wish her the best. I have every good faith in her attorneys that they're going to take good care of her. But I want for her to make sure she's done the personal work, because they're running in a bad way from what the truth is. And so Mr. Combs is going to have to face her. Maybe he has to wait till after his criminal stuff. Maybe he doesn't. If he pays for a pardon, then he could see her sooner than later. Either way, I hope she's strong enough, she stands clear, and she gets her moment in court and gets economic justice for what was done to her. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Wayne, your thoughts?
I've got a quick question. Now, when somebody says, they want to remain a Jane Doe, does that mean like Diddy doesn't know who she is? Or do they know, but they just want her to say her name to be out publicly?
So I believe is what you first said, Wayne. I believe none of us know, including Diddy.
Yeah,
And that's why we have to reveal the name because his voice kept saying, how does he defend himself if nobody knows, like he doesn't know who he's defending himself against?
yeah, that's how do you, it's like, what they expect him to do? I mean, he can't say anything because he doesn't know who it is, unless there's a trial. I just thought your accuser, you should be able to know who your accuser is. So I'm not running it up on the law, but that just seemed common sense that they would, that he would know who the accuser is. I could see maybe not giving the name out to the public,
Right.
but I don't see, because it's just, I'm not saying whether this stuff happened to this girl or not, but it's like your word against his. He said he didn't do it because I don't even know who it is.
Right.
That's it. I'm confused too.
Child, the whole thing is very confusing. But what's interesting is in the Mike Jeffries case, they know the names of all of those people that are suing. All the names are known. But court records are public. Her name would be in the transcripts. Yeah, I don't listen. This thing is crazy, but now we know. Guess what? She has to say her name if she wants to move forward. So it's going to be interesting. Listen, to the end of this year, go ahead, Felicia, and all the way through next year, this thing is going to be a circus. But go ahead, Felicia.
Thank you, Diva. But what I wanted to add was in that article, they said, and all the other Jane Does got to be unveiled. So Tony Busby going to really be out here with no underwear on. It's going to be so over for him because he got a whole slew of Jane Does. And he had, I don't think, did he give us the name of any one person?
No, I don't think so, to be honest with you. No.
So
I think everybody, no. Matter of fact, no. I'm adding to my thing now. Everybody was a Jane Doe, a John Doe, and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. So this is going to be very telling how the next 30 days plays out.
It really is. It really, really is. I appreciate you. Thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and roll into the last story. Lately we've been having a lot with the family matters, just parenting situations. I'll say that word, right? Parenting situations. And I'm giving Master P a little side eye here. That your son thought it was okay to just go pick up a refrigerator and take it back to his room, and he's in his 20s. But we're going to get into this story because, they want to say it's a misunderstanding that's about to be cleared up. It's all kind of nonsense, but I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I think they're full of crap. So let's get into this. Hersey Miller, coach addresses fridge death, says it's a huge misunderstanding. Okay. So Hersey Miller, Master P's son, was arrested last month after he and a pair of his Southern Utah University men's basketball teammates allegedly stole a couple of refrigerators from outside their school's bookstore. But their coach is adamant it's all a huge misunderstanding. But who reported the theft, though? According to court documents obtained by KUTV, the theft occurred at the SUU campus in Cedar City, Utah, back on November 11th. Now, these are the students, including a Master P's son, who decided to take a refrigerator. Okay, we got Brock, Peter, and Hersey. They all thought this was a good idea. The docs state that Hersey and two other Thunderbird players, Brock, Peter, and Inham, were seen on surveillance video nabbing the coolers from the SUU bookstore before loading them into separate cars. Cops wrote in the documents they saw one of the refrigerators inside a residence belonging to two of the basketball players. And when officers questioned the men about it, they admitted to taking it. Miller, the doc states, told police he thought the refrigerators were going to be thrown away, giving them the green light to nab them. Cops also wrote in the docs that Dassin told them the coolers had been sitting out for almost a month, and he too was under the impression they were going to be tossed. All three men were arrested and are now facing felony theft charges. The trio, however, have still been playing for the SUU despite the situation, with all three logging time in the Thunderbirds' 90-55 win over Park University Gilbert on Tuesday. On Wednesday, SUU head coach Rob Jeter told TMZ Sports he's confident the whole thing was an innocent mix-up, and the university is working to get this thing resolved quickly. We're told all three athletes had zero issues with the school and basketball program in the past, and they're well-respected kids on campus. Miller, a senior guard who previously played at Louisville, is currently fourth on the team in scoring, averaging 8.8 points per game. They say a misunderstanding. I'm calling nonsense on this. Julius, and I'm also saying if he needed a refrigerator, why didn't Master P just get him one? Or why did he tell his daddy he needed a refrigerator? Or why not get you a campus job and get you a refrigerator? Julius, your thoughts?
Oh Lord. Lord grant me patience, because if you give me strength, I'm gonna go off and be all kinds of ignorant. What happened to when you want to be so big and grown doing things for yourself? What happened to I know everything. Oh, but you can't go and buy you now them little campus refrigerators. Some of them can be on the cheap side. You can't buy you a $50 refrigerator. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Cause I'm tired. Like, I know I'm only 31. I'm sounding like I'm 75, but still, I'm tired. Like, this current generation now has all these excuses. Miss me with them. Miss me with the bull foolery. You ain't the only one that falling on hard times. Get off your behinds and stop being lazy.
I appreciate you, Julius. Katrina, your thoughts?
My thoughts are that that college is going to do what it got to do to get those charges off them. Simply because the reason is they're good in basketball, and so they're going to get those charges down off of them because of who his father is and how he's playing basketball. And what I don't understand is most colleges they have the refrigerators like in the common areas. So or they have like like Julia said that they have people getting those little mini fridges in their in their rooms. But most colleges have like a common area where they have like a kitchen or something like that with the refrigerator in it. So what did they do with the refrigerators? Did they put the big refrigerators in their rooms or did they get them and try to sell them? Because like I said, most colleges already have the refrigerators and stuff in their room. And of course, like I said, Master P is worth $200 million. So I don't know if they was doing it because they can. And that's why I always tell people, stop saying what your child won't do when your child is not in front of you, because your child will do things that you wouldn't think they would do. So that's why I always say, don't ever say what your child won't do. And I'm quite sure he never thought that his child would be at the college stealing refrigerators. This is ridiculous. That I would be totally embarrassed. And then, like you said, the coach trying to let them get away with it. They let them get away with it because they're good in sports. As long as these people are winning them games, they will do anything to keep them in that school. They would do it. Trust me, I know this from firsthand experience. When they got a child that's good in these sports, they get in trouble or whatsoever, they would do anything for they won't be suspended, keep them in school suspension, or make them do little jobs around so they can keep them children there. So they're not benefiting them kids, they benefiting themselves because the kids are winning them the games and that making them look better. But he need his butt whooped. You up there stealing refrigerators. So I'm thinking they still need refrigerators to sell them or to put them in their rooms. And the refrigerator sitting out there for 30 days. Don't these refrigerators the what do you call it, the antifreeze in them sometimes they leak out if you haven't plugged them in for a certain amount of time, or if you move them the stuff will leak out anyway. I don't understand. You out there still in refrigerator. You should have called your dad and told your dad, look, the campus needs some refrigerators. Can you bring one up to me or something like that? This is totally ridiculous to be arrested for stealing refrigerator. We've seen people steal less than that, but I'm just saying you got arrested for stealing a refrigerator. That's ridiculous and
Unbelievable.
sad. I mean, that's just totally ridiculous. It's laughable, but it's not laughable because that was just totally stupid. You stealing a refrigerator. What you gonna say? Hey, Blinky. Hey, man, I got a refrigerator. Come pick it up. You know I sell it to you this for this amount of money. That's crazy. We'll see how this case turn out. But boy, if you a refrigerator, we'll see how it turn out. We'll just see how it turn out. That's all I got to do.
I appreciate you. Master P ex-wife from SWB said he was cheap. Yeah, cheap and not buying a little refrigerator for your son that's in college is crazy. Felicia, your thoughts?
Well, and maybe they took them because they just wanted to take something, because there was 3 of them and 3 refrigerators, and they thought, yeah, we could use them. And then they got arrested. And from what you read, well, they're hoping to work this thing out, because when you get arrested, you are now fingerprinted and you're in the system, right? For theft, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, okay. I agree with Katrina. If you could play a sport really well, they tend to overlook a lot of things. But something tells me that they're probably going to get expelled from school. Yeah, as soon as the basketball season's over. Yeah, because you quoted the coach as saying, yeah, it was just a mistake. It was misinformation or something. We are hoping to work this out. Work this out don't mean it goes away. Work it out can mean you got to go away as soon as basketball season is done. It's embarrassing and it's unnecessary. And it's another 3 of them, and one of them is a freshman. First year in school. He's not even in there a whole semester. You know, education is everything for folks like myself who are coming out of poverty, when you're underserved, when you're in a community that doesn't have a lot of opportunity. And I'm thinking he was the freshman, so he was the least experienced. You didn't have to get him caught up in all that. They didn't.
Did
So
not.
now maybe, if he doesn't play so well, things don't look so good, we don't need you next year. Mm-hmm. So you get expelled or you have something on your record, and now maybe you lose your scholarship if you're getting one. There's a lot of things that can happen here.
Yes, yeah.
Over a refrigerator that you didn't need. You didn't need it. So this is why I often say to young people, really, think things through. Be strong enough to think things through, particularly when you're in a group, because a group of people will think differently than a singular person. So think things through. So if you're there and you're on a scholarship and, maybe you're doing well, you're not doing so well, maybe you're doing really great academically. And if the athletic piece doesn't work out, they still want you to be there. But now you stole a refrigerator? No. They'll see what's going to happen in the new year. Very often when people come back for the second semester, they find out that they're no longer welcomed.
Jeez.
I'm done.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
My thought is that why couldn't it have been a mistake? I mean, why'd it have to be? I know it didn't belong to them, and they said it was sitting out there a month. Maybe they could just thought, hey, but they've been out here, made a bad decision, you know, but it could have been an honest mistake. They don't have to be thieves. And if it wasn't his son, I mean, would it be out? I mean, celebrity son. Oh yeah, celebrity son stole a refrigerator. All that money his father got, he's still in the refrigerator. I mean, these are still younger. What, they're in their 20s or something?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, and we said this, people said on the panel that 20 years, the brain still ain't even all developed,
Wayne, I love you, but you come on now.
I know, but I'm just saying, it could have been, maybe they didn't really see it. I'm stealing it. Oh, I'm going to steal this refrigerator. Hey, let's get anybody using them. Yeah, it was bad judgment. But I mean, should we define these guys by that? By a mistake they made? That's it. I'm just a little more lenient. I can see the other side of it.
I can see it like that too, a little bit, Wayne, because they was out there for 30 days and nobody moved them. The campus didn't say anything, and they just sitting out there. Were they outside? I mean, why is the campus allowing them to sit out there for 30 days and not move them or do anything with them? And if I guess they see them out there like every day, they probably thought, well, yeah, maybe we can get the refrigerator. But the thing of it is, they should have asked.
Hello.
That's the thing. They should have asked, is it okay for us to get the refrigerator since they've been sitting out there for 30
That's
days?
it, and that's all.
And then the folks would say, no, you can't get them. And then they would have left them alone. That's what I'm saying. I see what you're saying too, Wayne, but I'm just saying they just could have asked. They could have, if they sitting out there, they could have just say, those refrigerators been sitting out there, and our refrigerators in our room or our refrigerators in our common area is not working. Do y'all mind if we get them, or can we buy them, or something like that? They could have asked. That's
That's it.
all I'm saying.
They could have asked. So my thing is, when I was working in the hospital, and this picture is literally in my house. I could take a picture and post it on my community page later. When I was working in the hospital, they was renovating one of the floors, and everything on that floor they was going to throw in the trash. I went to my manager at the time. I said, listen, I heard they're renovating that floor. There's this picture that I want. Can you see if I can have it? He said, give me a couple days. I'm going to find out. When I came back to work that next day or whatever day I came back to work, and he said that they said they was going to trash it and you can take it, I was super excited. But I did not decide on my own, just because they was about to trash everything on that floor, that I can go on that floor and take whatever I want. You have to use your words. And I don't want to say Master P's son is in he's a senior, and after 4 years of college, you don't have no good common sense. That's problematic. I don't care if the thing was sitting out there 300 days. I would go ask somebody. It was by the bookstore. I would go ask the people at the bookstore, can I get this? Can I have it? What's going on with it? I seen it's been outside for a few days now. And I don't even really believe that piece of the story, that they just have these refrigerators sitting outside and the refrigerator working. It's been outside for 30 days. Something about it don't sound right. But you know what? That's their story and they sticking to it. And somebody at the school had to have complained about missing refrigerators, because how did it get to the law enforcement? And the law enforcement is looking at surveillance video to see who stole said refrigerators. I mean, I'm putting the pieces together here, and I could tell the story sounds off.
And if the refrigerator on campus, why they just can't go to their rooms or whatever and get the refrigerators back?
where they found the refrigerator. It's not a matter. It's a matter of they stole these refrigerators.
Okay. Okay.
They stole them, and the campus had to have put in a complaint about stolen refrigerators for them to actually get arrested after they looked at said surveillance video. They stole it. And I don't think it was necessarily sitting outside. Those are just my thoughts. Because a whole investigation ensued, and I could tell by the way it's worded. Why are you looking? If it was trash, why do you need to look on surveillance footage to see who took something from the trash? And they had 2 cars, so they planned this thing. They had 2 cars to put these 3 refrigerators in. And why did they need 3 refrigerators? Because 2 of them was living in an apartment together. They said they found one of the refrigerators in one of the apartment that the 2 of them were sharing together, and then another one in the other person's place. So who knows where the 3rd refrigerator went?
Pookie got that refrigerator.
To a friend.
Huh? There you go.
Could have gave it to a friend that needed a refrigerator in the dorm.
No, they sold it to whoever they need a refrigerator in that dorm.
They did. And what I'm saying is, all of them have some parents. And these refrigerators now, I think they might be $200-$300 tops. Between the ones that were sharing the apartment, $150 from each parent, and you would have got you a refrigerator. But now you got fingerprints in the record that the coach is confident that this was a misunderstanding. And like I said too, because like you said, Katrina, they love their athletes. I'm 10 toes down. If they would have went to their coach and asked about those refrigerators that was allegedly outside for 30 days, the coach would have got it for them. I hate to say it, but they're thieves. But good luck to them. Listen, this was big wins and epic fails. And for sure, Hersey Miller, epic fail. What a disgrace. And then he got locked up right before Thanksgiving and got out on Thanksgiving Day. Disgraceful. But listen, guys, y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. It was trending topics, big wins, and epic fails. I appreciate y'all for being here. I'll see y'all tomorrow night for trending topics again.
Hit the like button on the way out, y'all.
Thank you, Julius. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo, choo.